So greetings and welcome to another segment of Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman. My name is Peter Updike, and here at Wild Treasures we celebrate all things hunting and fishing and everything connected. Coming up, I've got a little video of a hunt that I did down in the Green Swamp, my last trip down there. And the season is closed down there, and I'm kind of glad of it. I kind of lifted a burden off my shoulders. It's been a long, drawn-out season, and yeah, it's been kind of a hard time too. You know, I want to do a video in the near future about my mama. I'm going to do a little eulogy about my mama. My mom and dad did not hunt and fish, but I can tell you some things that my mom and daddy did do that helped me get my talons, my claws into the outdoor lifestyle. And of course, my grandfather, he introduced me to fishing, and he was very passionate about fishing and loved to fish and loved the unpredictability of casting a line, and he passed that on to me. And many of those stories are in my book, Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman. I wrote this book celebrating the outdoor lifestyle, hunting and fishing, and again, all things connected. And my book and I are going to be at the True Heart Ranch in Webster, Florida this Saturday. That's February 3rd at the Wild Turkey Extravaganza. Now, if you've never learned anything about turkey hunting and you would like to question some professional turkey hunters, well, this is your big opportunity. They're selling their box calls, they're selling their slate calls, their diaphragm calls, their locator calls. They're going to be selling pictures and all these things that go with turkey hunting. And you don't have to buy anything if you don't want to. You don't have to pay for admission. You don't have to pay for parking. It's all free. All you have to do is show up. I'll be there. I'll have a little table set up, and to meet all of you and to talk to you about turkey hunting and wildlife management areas and deer hunting and tree stands and camouflage and all things connected. That's what we do. So, yeah, I'll be there. Again, that's February 3rd at the True Heart Ranch in Webster, Florida. Bebop it on your bleep-blopping smarty phone, and it'll come up, and there's a little map on there, even shows you how to get there. So, yeah, I'll see you there. I'll be there around 8 o'clock, and I'll have copies of my book. If you're interested in one, I'll meet with you anyway. Yeah, buy one if you want, and if you don't, that's okay too. Anyway, the price for commenting, all right, and we're going to start doing this on the YouTube. I feed off of your comments and your questions. I get them all by all manner of social media. I get them on the YouTube, which is my favorite. I love it when you comment on the YouTube, asking questions. There are people reading the comments that can field the questions better than I can. And sometimes we get a mixture of input, and that's to your benefit. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask it on the YouTube, because other people will read it and they'll respond as well. And of course, I always read them and I respond, okay? And people message me on Instagram, and they message me on Facebook, especially right before the season. And turkey hunting holds true. People will message me, and they'll even call me at the welding shop, and that's okay. I had this fella call me this morning. He called me and wanted to know a little bit about the Richland Wildlife Management Area. And, you know, I don't blow the horn, come here and go hunting, but I kind of, like to help people out, introduce them to hunting and make sure that they don't slip up. And the best advice I gave him, I'm going to give you guys, as if you hunt down in the Green Swamp, or if you hunt in Osceola, or if you hunt in Big Cypress. Now, Big Cypress is way down in the south end, and Green Swamp is right in the center of the state, and then Osceola is way up in the north end, right? But all of these places have one thing in common, and that's water. And if we get a large rain event, you're going to want to take note of that. I take note of it. From here on out, I'm going to be watching the weather, and I'm going to be using the weather to help guide me on where I'm going to go, because I I don't relish the idea of getting out there and walking, down a little trail or road and then find out I got to cross 200 yards of flooded timber to get to the other side, only to find out the other side, well, it's only got 30 yards of dry ground and another 200 yards of flooded timber. And that's the way it is down at Richloam. If you get off the main road, and that was my warning to him, and I'll warn you as well, that if you go down to Richloam or in the Green Swamp, especially Richloam. Now, Richloam is littered like a jigsaw puzzle with roads that go here and there and everywhere. And if you charge off down one of those roads in your pickup truck, not realizing that you may not make it back out. Okay, and if you go walking down those roads and you make a right and a left and right and a left, and suddenly you realize you're somewhere that you don't not sure how to get back. Some of those roads go for a long, long way, and yeah, they take note of where you walk. And if you're not savvy to the condition of the road when you get off of the main limestone road, just pull off to the side and walk through there, okay? And listen for your birds to gobble that way. I would not drive down any. I got a great 4-wheel drive truck. Never been stuck in it. It's lifted, got the big wheels and big tires on it, and it's made for hunting. Okay, but I never ever drive down those side roads at Richloam because I just love my truck too much, so I don't do it. Another comment and question that I got that I'll share with you is a feller sent me a message. I think it was on Instagram. He messaged me, and I welcome those as well. What do I know about the Hilochee Wildlife Management Area? Now, I knew I recognized the name, but I couldn't place it. I only knew that I'd never hunted it. So there's really not too much I can add to the equation. At least that's what I thought. And if this fella's watching, this is for you, the Hilochee Wildlife Management Area. He said that he had a quota permit for deer hunting there. And right away I started to think, I thought all the quota permits are done. All the quota hunts are done. So I went in and I looked. I went to my FWC. I clicked on brochures. I typed in the Hilochee Wildlife Management Area, and boom, it came up. And I checked it out, and he's right. He drew he drew a quota permit for a wildlife management area that's still got a hunt in mid-February. And then I looked and I saw where it was. And I said, now I know. And I can revise my information to him a little bit better, and I hope he's watching. This is the price you pay when you ask me a question, or you comment, or you ask me a question. It might very well be used on the video, and I'm going to use this one. The Hilochee, I hope I'm saying that right, Wildlife Management Area is about 10,000 acres, but it's surrounded by wilderness. And it's in South Lake County near the Clearmont chain of lakes. And I think it's the big lake is Lake Louisa, down at the very south end of that chain. And it's surrounded by swamp and big, beautiful cypress trees and cypress dome. And it's a beautiful area, and the state acquired it, I suppose, about 15 years ago. And they're spot on. The state is spot on, because this is what I know. That I deer hunted not too far from there on private land. And I gave it my best. All right, I hunted it 5 years. And I gave it my best shot. And I only managed to shoot one 6-inch spiked deer. Now, they were legal then. It's been about 20 years ago. But I had permission to hunt private land very close to that wildlife management area. It was private then, but now it's a management area. And the fact of the matter is that the rut is so far behind the rest of the surrounding area that most of the time the season was over by the time the deer there got geared up for the rut. And we would see this because we were actively working on the land that we also hunted. And it was citrus, and it had some cows on it, and citrus, and big prairies, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful place, mostly orange trees. But a lot of big deer, a lot of big, mature, what I call Florida bucks. If you wanted to kill 180, 190 pound Florida deer, well, that's the place to do it. Great big chocolate antlers. Unfortunately, I never got one. Others have, but I never did. And that Hilochee Wildlife Management Area is not too far. So I'm thinking that that's probably spot on as far as the location, the rut, and the hunting is the toughest you'll ever find. And my advice is for you to hunt in cover, if you can get in cover and get as deep into that cover. Avoid open areas, because that's where I saw deer when I was hunting down there. Was the more closed area I was, where I could at least see, the better off you were. Those deer are real swamp. They gravitate to the dome cypress and hide out down in that swamp. Now I got a little clip coming up after this where I found a bed down in the swamp. I found a deer bed down in the swamp, and I'm going to show it to you. But it's an example of where all the deer go in the green swamp when the pressure's on. But in places like Hilochee, now the Hilochee is, in my view, is in the green swamp, but it is the outer edge, the outer, that would be the northeast region of the area that I would call the green swamp. And yeah, it's an exciting hunt, I'm sure. And it's going to be good for you to go and to hunt that late season. I was surprised that they had a quota permit for the middle of February. Good luck to you on killing your deer. At the very least, get in there and learn some stuff. It's going to be a very unique hunt, and I'm excited for you. I can't remember the guy's name that messaged me and asked me that, but yeah, congratulations on getting that quota permit. So again, True Heart Ranch, this coming Saturday, 8 o'clock till 3 or 2, no, 8 to 2. I'll be there at the True Heart Ranch, have my table set up right there in the barn, and it's going to be a great time. Hope to see you there. And right now comes the bed that I found and discovered in the most unlikely place that anyone would ever think. That's down in the green swamp. All right, love you guys. Talk to you soon. See you. Bye. So it's a rainy day in the green swamp. It was really cold this morning. And if you ever wondered where all the deer live in the green swamp, well, there you go. There you have it. See the trail right there? This is where the trail. This is where the trail ends for me. I ain't going no further. That buck can live in that swamp down in there. He can find him a little spot. As you can tell, he rubbed this tree right here. And he can find him a little spot, and he can bed down right here. And yeah, this will keep his place. I guarantee you, there's a whole bunch of deer down in there. I'm trying to make my way back out of here. I just kind of went on a little walkabout and just trying to see what I can see and see what I can find. It's kind of a trail right here that comes in here. It was nice and cold this morning, so it's warmed up. You gotta watch out for water moccasins. And this grass, right? That's sawgrass. Man, that stuff is terrible. It'll cut you up, man. Jumped a bunch of buzzards over yonder. I don't know what's up with them buzzards. Kind of cool back in here though. It was kind of cool to find these spots. Come to the end of the trail, and what do you find? Big old buck rub. Heck yeah! I like it, man. Look, there's another one. There's another one right there. Come. Let's look at this one.
don't see many tracks. But everywhere I go, I see rubs. I bet it's the same deer. See if we can't get back up out of here. That's where we came. Make my way back to the truck. Hunted this morning, had a pretty good hunt. Very pleasant to come here during the week. There's no people. I just love coming here. This is the Green Swamp East Unit. There are deer here. And it's the thing that keeps me coming back, but I don't know. They're hard to hunt this time of year. It's just getting to the end of the season. And that's the way it goes. So, all right. Talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye.